So, Anthropic, the AI company behind Claude and Opus models, was part of the attack on Venezuela. The same attack that is called Operation Absolute Resolve, and Anthropic wasn't aware of this until very recently. And ever since then, they stand off against the Pentagon and US government on their own policy of AI safety, which they have always maintained and had dictated to the government as well, that their AI cannot be used to mass surveil American citizens and cannot be used for weapons to kill people where the final call is not taken by a human. And exactly this stands in contradiction to what the Trump administration and Pentagon believe going forward with their military might. That raid on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro resulted in about 90 people being killed. The American military used B 1 bombers, over 150 aircrafts, F-22s and F-35s, electronic warfare planes, Delta Force commandos, and then there was this AI-powered electronic warfare beast that basically created a dead zone around that compound where Maduro was living. Now, Anthropic has to sign the papers and give the American government an absolute agreement that they are fine with the Pentagon using their AI for anything that they deem fit. And this is exactly where Anthropic is refusing to agree. In July 2025, the US government gave $200 million of contracts to XAI, OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic each for integrating their technology for the defense of America. And it seems like the American government loves Claude. Claude seems to be the most intelligent and potent of all. Reason why, despite calling Anthropic a problem for the US military supply chain, they want it real bad. And if Anthropic doesn't agree to the terms, they will be blacklisted by the US government, just like Huawei, citing security threats to the United States of America. Now, it can sound absurd, especially for Eastern democracies, and can sound absolutely unfathomable for China. How can an AI company refuse its own government when it comes to the country's defense? And that is how American democracy works. And that is how many of these companies work. They do not function like American companies, they function like global companies, citing reasonably correct uniform conduct across borders. And this can definitely create a serious rift between CEO Dario Amode and President Donald Trump. Noticeably, you must have read or heard Sam Altman, Sundar Pichai, and Elon Musk talk about the safety concerns of AI and AI safe use, but none of them have countered the Pentagon and have completely submitted to the will of the American government, except Anthropic. But the problem isn't that easy to escape from now. It seems like Anthropic will face serious repercussions because of their refusal to abide by the US government, as their other clients will also be scrutinized for having links with Anthropic. And the government has already started auditing Lockheed Martin and Boeing for presenting a report on how much they depend on Anthropic. This definitely seems hard to comprehend on the part of Anthropic. Why can't they be allowed to simply walk away from a breach of contract? But the government is the contract. They are saying that they will decide what is legal and not some corporate body. Now, the thing is, how can a tech company and the Pentagon decide on something that is a matter of public policy? Shouldn't this be debated and worked on in the US Congress? But that is not how Trump functions actually. Whether it is about slapping tariffs on America's own allies or whether it's waging a raid in the neighborhood, Donald Trump bypasses the congressional procedural requirements. And this is exactly what they want with AI. They want AI to bypass bureaucracy and military permissions and authorization. All they want is if the AI is given a target, then it is for the AI to decide, plan, and execute the attack, irrespective of how many people it decides to kill. And this is exactly what Anthropic is against. And even for American citizens, this isn't a very pleasing picture because the US government will for sure use AI for mass surveillance. And that we have heard before as well with the whole Erdogan saga. Anyways, what is waiting for Anthropic and global tech depends on this fiasco to a very large extent because China, Russia, and EU are closely watching what the US has already accomplished when it comes to AI driven military might and how adamant it is about executing it on an even larger and more brutal level. Thanks for watching. Do like, subscribe, and share your views on this matter in the comment section. Namaste.